Hi folks, and let's see if we're recording. All right, here we go. And if you are there, hold on, I'm adjusting the camera, okay? Let's see. I am needing to get the conversation going with Mr. Let's see. Okay, let's see. With GrayDancer. Hold on a sec while I pull up Skype, okay? And let's see, how many of us are there right now? Let's see, I'm a little bit late. Sorry, I was trying to set up the camera and the Wi-Fi and all that. So hopefully, let me bring this in a little bit closer. I hope you can hear me. And let's see. Hello, Mr. Where are you? Skype. All right, Skype is getting set up. I am waiting to connect with Gray. Hey, Gray, are you there? Or I'm gonna catch you on Skype. All right, hold on just a sec. I need to try to catch GrayDancer. All right, I found him. Let's see if I can. Hi, who's that? You know your questions come up like super briefly, right? So I'm gonna try to bring you in a little closer. Ooh, flare. It's looking like a J.J. Abrams film. Hiya. Hey, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. I'm trying to adjust the camera here so we're not, oh, let's see. Is there something I can wedge underneath? Oh, look, a hairbrush. I'm going to wedge this underneath and see what that does.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, I have a weird echo in my headphones.
Okay, now do we want to do video here or are we doing just audio?
I could do video from the side.
And are you looking at... Hey, awesome, great.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you're wearing a dojo t-shirt.
Oh, look at that,
So am I.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Mine's a classic version.
Oh my God, it so is. Okay. Well, this is a first, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Have you got Periscope people?
Yes, we have Periscope. We have 5 Periscopers. And let's see. Sinatra from Sweden. We've met before. Hello from Sweden. Nayland, are you out there?
Oh my God, is that the one true natural dominant Nayland?
Hey, I hope for those of you out in Periscope, I hope the video quality is okay. Let's see what happens if I can stick this on top of my, let's see my setup here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, that's actually great. Look at the camera and wave, Gray. Oh wow.
Hi, camera.
My screen is filthy.
Hi.
Okay, hold on. Let's try that again. It's so super meta, right?
Hi. My screen I'm looking at is actually over here, so I'm going to talk that way.
Okay. All right. I'm going to, and I'm sticking the camera, which way is a little bit, oh, that's a little better lighting, isn't it? Okay. I'm just moving this over. Hi, okay. Adjusting. All right. So this is a new thing for us, so you'll have to forgive us as we work out the technology. I have actually geekily clipped the tripod onto my laptop. So I am looking at myself on the laptop and the phone, and Gray right under me. Oh, hey, you're underneath me.
Well, I'm actually only doing that at the direction of my feline overlords.
Yes.
So.
Yes, he who is in service to my cats.
That I am.
So currently we have 5 people out there, and we're also recording, are we?
Yes, I'm recording this for the Ropecast. Hello, all you skibbies.
Okay, so shall we do a proper opening for Ropecast?
Sure, and I'm actually I was just about to Twitter that you're on Periscope now also. There we go. All right, so yes, we will do our official opening. Hello, all you skibbies. This is GrayDancer, and through the magic of Skype, I also have Midori. Hi, Midori.
Hi, everyone. How's it going?
We are doing a experiment because while you can't really tell her how you're doing right now because you're listening to the podcast after, what you can do is tune into Periscope, where we are doing this interview live. It's through your Periscope.
Yes.
Having both of us would be a little bit weird.
So
the audience.
I'm thinking some people are asking what Periscope is. It is this nifty, cool app for smartphones where you can do a live, in-the-moment video feed from anywhere in the world that you can get online with. And I've been using this a lot as a way to document my artwork, my travel. I've even actually recorded one of my classes on that down in LA, Pink Japan, Sex and Taboo Today. So did that, and that worked out really well. But it's a really neat app. I think it's also something where it's a nice, quick way to say hello to the world. And this footage, I'm also going to save it and put it on YouTube so you can see it later.
Nice. Yeah, it's also, I think, underutilized. It's kind of a new technology, and people are still trying to figure out how best to use it.
Yes.
So.
And I'm obviously trying to also figure out this chair.
So we were going to talk about dominance in particular, and this actually came up. I have to give myself a little bit of a plug here because you are our guest of honor for the upcoming Ropecraft convention in Austin next year.
Yes.
And you, of course, are very busy in the meantime. Well, I don't know if you realize it, but you are blocking the camera.
I am blocking the camera? Oops. Yes, I'm blocking the camera. Well,
actually, you're only blocking my Skype camera, so if it's going fine on Periscope, then you should use that.
I'm actually trying to adjust the Periscope thingy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, you were telling me that you are, as usual, busier than a one-armed person at a fisting convention.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, you are getting ready for your Fort de Femme workshop.
Yes.
And that is from I was looking at the website and thinking, yes, I want to go, and then I realized it's for women only. So until such a time as I choose to identify as a woman, I'm not going to get to go. So I have to ask you, well, let's start out with the question that someone asked. I did solicit questions.
Oh, good.
And some user named Nayland asked if you acknowledged him as the one true natural dominant.
Oh no, I don't think that was exactly the question. Take a look at the question again.
Let's go look at that again. Let's see. Obviously, this is what I get for. I have the Fort de Femme website up. That counts as some research, I think. So let's see. Notifications. I'm having trouble finding it. There we go. Oh, I can see where I'm having trouble finding it because I'm in a different.
We have so many different technologies and apps going right now.
So much here.
Yeah, we've got.
Do you have it up? Can you just read it? Or?
No, because that means I have to move off of the Periscope.
Right. I'll keep looking here. I'm sure I can find it, and we can always edit this out too. So.
Okay, Periscope folks, I'm adjusting the camera
You
again.
know, if Ayla's on Periscope, we could probably rephrase it too.
Yes.
She's probably just actually enjoying the fact that we're trying so hard. That's what I get for posting this out in the Roadcast account, because I don't always have that one up. All right. I have been to the eccentric dominant class, which is quite enjoyable. And really, who else could possibly teach a class like the eccentric dominant other than Nayland?
Oh, so perfect. Nayland Blake, whom I
There we are.
There we go. What was the question?
You're right. And what the actual question was is, ask if she acknowledges who the one true dominant is. So, Midori, do you acknowledge who the one true dominant is?
Any cat in the room.
Granted, of course.
There we go. Any cat in the one true dominant is any feline in the world or 2-year-old in the room.
But what happens if there's more than one?
Well, then the two 2-year-olds or the 2-year-old and the cat has to duke it out, and then the cat wins because the cat has sharp edges.
Sorry, I lost your audio there for a second.
Okay, so I said, if you've got two 2-year-olds, they have to duke it out, and whichever one cries the loudest is the one true dominant.
Oh, hang on a second.
Well, for those of you out there who have kids, true, right? Right. So let's see. So in terms of the power struggle of true dominance, let's see. I give you a locked room with two 2-year-olds and a cat. Who is the dominant?
Hey, hang on a second, Midori.
That's fine. I'm talking to the good people of
Okay.
Periscope. Yep. Okay, so for those of you on Periscope, I am going to cat. The cat wins. Cat. Okay, let's see. I'm going to give you a view of Mr. Gray. Here we go. Oh, that's actually a pretty damn artistic shot, actually. Yeah, the cat wins always. Okay, so Gray, do you have access to Periscope?
I do, but I'm right now running into some recording technical difficulties I'm trying to solve.
Well, I'm just going to keep talking, but there's this amazing shot of you on my laptop, me in the background with the phone, and the reflection of me on the laptop screen. It's like multiple meta-ness foo. Anyhow, let's, to the dear listeners out there, let's see, obviously this is an experimentation. Thanks for putting up with us, because once we figure this whole thing out, we are going to hopefully be able to do this again in the future. In the meantime, ask us anything. Ask me, ask them, anything. Yeah, it is so many layers, right? Can you guys see the layers? Let's see. Well, if the 2-year-old get a hold of the cat's tail, then it might go either way. True, true. We are discussing the nature of dominance. Yes. So.
I'll ask a question, actually, because one thing about your Fort of M is that you are teaching. Are you teaching dominance, or are you bringing out a inherent dominance that's there?
Okay. So the question was, am I in Fort FM, my Women's Dominance Weekend Intensive, am I teaching dominance, or am I bringing out the inherent dominance that is already there? A bit about Fort FM. It's a women-only intensive, max number 9. 9 is absolutely max. So it's a small group intensive. And we go from Friday night. Oops, hold on. There's a truck going by. We go from Friday night, immersive weekend, all the way to Sunday night. And it includes dinner and a field trip. But what we do is we really go deeply into each woman's herself, who she really is, to discover her authentic power source, right? Authentic power source from the bedroom to the boardroom. And it's about throwing out the stereotype porno-generated image of dominance, and instead looking at the nature of each woman's potential for power, satisfaction, fulfillment. It's an intense program, and there's no cookie cutter instruction. What we I'm sorry, what?
That would be why it's limited to 10 people.
Yeah, it is absolutely limited to 9. Yeah, because anything beyond that, we cannot go in depth. And we bare our hearts, we bare our souls, we look into our shadow aspect, our darker aspect, we look at that which is our glorious joy and the light side as well, that we often don't acknowledge, and we get so stuck in some stereotype. And look, the kink subculture is just as guilty of this, actually. Just as guilty of perpetuating a certain two-dimensional image.
Yeah, I was going to say that when you ask people normally what are the skills of a dominant, usually you hear things like flogging, tying, spanking, giving orders, that kind of thing. You don't usually hear about are they in touch with their shadow side and things like that.
Yeah, actually, the technical aspect, the wacky pokey binding. Oh wait, question here. Someone asked if the teaching is in New York. We alternate between New York and San Francisco. This one coming up in August is in San Francisco. I am working on scheduling another one in New York City. New York happens about twice a year. It's probably going to be in January, February-ish. Probably not this fall, but I'm looking at the possibilities. But yes, it happens in New York, and in New York it's a beautiful private apartment, a vacation apartment that I rent. So it is in an immersive retreat in an elegant apartment.
I also noticed on your site you talk about if someone has a partner, they can bring them on the Saturday night field trip.
Somebody said, yes, what was that?
What is that? What is the Saturday night field trip?
Okay, so Saturday night field trip, New York and San Francisco is a little bit different. In New York, we go to a fantastic show and tell, Skillshare shopping spree at the Purple Passion, and then a dinner with just us and our dates. Now in San Francisco, it's a little bit different. We go to a skill show and tell and shopping spree at our local sponsor, Mr. S, and then we go to a private erotic dinner catered by Our Gourmet Life, and there the alumni will join as well. Yeah. Now somebody just posted about knowing a good space in New York City. What I look for are luxury apartments. And just to be specific, I get asked this about why not do this in a dungeon? Because I actually don't know what the space that the listener was mentioning. But I get asked about, well, why not do this in a dungeon? Well, yeah, see, the thing is, where do most of us spend our times? We spend our life, our downtime at home. The problem is if we do this at a place like a dungeon or a kinky studio space or play space, I find that people become reliant on, the women become reliant upon the tools and the props. And if it is that you want to enjoy topping or dominance, that you actually don't need the props. That is not what a dominant makes. Okay? That the props, the tools, the outfits is not what makes the woman a fantastic dominant or a man a fantastic dominant. Those are nice. They're fantastic toys. But instead, I host Forte FM at an elegant apartment or a loft environment. Something that is pretty, but not uncommon. So that in that environment, similar to home, you can tap into what would truly please you and how to make that happen. Yep, integrated life, indeed. Yeah, and I love the toys, don't get me wrong, they're great. And but that's like going to Disneyland. And I compare this a lot to childlike play, in that, you know, a creative kid with a box of crayons, a cardboard box, and a packet of rubber bands can create a lot more without having to be told how to play at Disneyland. The same kid at the Disneyland is going to have a ton of fun too.
Can you give me an example of the kind of change that has taken place in the people that have attended these kind of things? I mean, what is the movement from unsure of dominance, or perhaps relying on tools and dominance, through being in touch with their authentic inner power?
Okay. So the women that come to Fort FM, wide range of experience, right? Some gals have maybe only heard of the 50 Shades book and don't even know what the acronyms BDSM stand for. Right. Others, I've had people who are 20, 30 years doing kink stuff, have been in power relation dynamics, deeply into the skills and the subculture, and yet feeling like they need to get their groove back. They need some sort of a boost or a refresher, right? So a whole wide range. But it works because it's not about the wacky pokey bindy. It is about finding the truth within that often don't get asked. So there's a range of where they start and where they end up. Where they start, oftentimes unsure, unsure of what to do, unsure of how to read a partner. Common things that I hear is, I don't know what to do next. I'm worried about feeling silly. I hear about, I just want to make my other person happy. And all that sort of stuff, right? And then what ends up happening at the end of it is that I give them a series of tools by which to constantly check in with themselves when they feel a doubt or a falter, whether in play, kink, sex, or in a corporate environment. I've had women ask for, after the weekend, go in and ask for a raise or a promotion, or to be acknowledged for the work that they do. I've had women feel that understand that they have rightfully hard-earned entitlements that they can ask for, to shed guilt and shame. It's really a huge weekend.
So this is more of a, almost like a personal empowerment weekend disguised as a kinky workshop.
Gosh darn, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to give it away.
Yes. Meow. The cat's out of the bag. On top of that, people actually learn how to co-create awesome, amazing, intimate, deep scenes. So now you don't get that in just your regular old personal empowerment programs.
Very, very true. What is there a particular reason that you do focus on women in this workshop? I mean, have you considered doing one for men, or is it just?
Well, the weekend came out of my own struggle and my own my friends' struggles as well on the topic. I teach what I know, and let's see. With two Periscope, the space would love your opinion. It's an open loft, maybe something different. I think they're talking about the space. I really need a residential apartment, because I do actually need bedrooms, because if it's in New York, I stay there. So, but I really need a elegant home environment. So that is what I do look for. Now, the question was, why focusing on women? Well, because of my personal perspective, and I understand the struggle that's happened as a woman navigating between the internalized social message about being women in this culture, and I'm also coming from Japan too, so we've got the multicultural perspective of what it means to be female, whether the positive and the negative, but also being a feminist, being an egalitarian, being a socially conscious person, and how to navigate that with expression of power and desire. Okay, so personal perspective colors that a great deal.
No, that makes sense, and I think part of my reason for asking is because I think within the realm of masculine dominance, there's a lot of stereotypes and tropes.
Yes.
There always have been.
Yes.
And people don't fall into that idea. Naya and I have experienced situations where we've been in classes where they've said things like, well, you gotta leave your clothes on because you can't be dominant if you're naked, or you can't be dominant if you're on your knees, or something along those lines. And there's always
okay, so the thing about can't be dominant if you're on your knees, how am I supposed to get down and tie your ankles? How am I supposed to do that? I mean, what am I gonna?
I always figured if your dominance is reliant on whatever is.
And for that matter, how would you define then dominance in zero gravity environment? Because who's lower than whom?
Good point.
Okay, I mean,
everyone in Australia, submissive to us. So
yeah, right.
Some people that would disagree with that.
Yeah. So.
By the way, I'm getting some feedback from listeners about the Periscope.
Yeah.
Your volume is great. My volume is apparently too low, and I don't have any control over that because it's the volume on your machine. So you might need to turn yours up a bit more, or else position the camera near where it'll pick up the speakers better.
Okay, I am going to work on that. Let's see. That's good information. All right. I am now putting the camera on top of, let's see.
And I'll keep talking because that way people can find out, tell us if it's actually doing better or not.
Oh, now Fort FM, by the way,
Yes.
is going to Copenhagen.
Oh, wow.
But I will confess right now, I mean, we're doing this at this amazing retreat center, and it's going to be in November. Registration is a bit low, and I've had a couple of people go, well, why should I take that? Because I could take 2-hour classes in Europe. I'm like, well, if that trend's going to continue, I might cancel it, because instead of having I might as well just hang out and have a good time in Scandinavia, because I love it over there. It's so cool. So anyhow, if you're interested in signing up to one in Europe, do so.
I wanted to ask about, I obviously attended quite a few of your classes, and
but wait, I want to digress. I want to digress back.
Sorry.
Hold that question. Somebody asked, isn't dominance rather aura rather than physical position? Yeah, that's the point we're making, because people do ask about. A lot of people have strange ideas. Anyhow, so great. You asked me about why not do an intensive for men. I've been asked that a lot, and I find myself wondering, could I? See, what I'm doing is I don't teach people how I do it. What I do is open doors by asking a series of questions and giving tools that are helpful. So in that sense, perhaps I could teach and help open doors towards masculine styles of dominance. Or maybe I have no business teaching that. I don't know.
Here's a thought for you, though. We keep on talking about masculine and feminine styles of dominance, and Do you think maybe it's more a matter of dominance and it's whatever you happen to bring to it? I mean, I'm wondering if we're making a mistake by differentiating, or, for that matter, putting into two genders this style of dominance. I mean, you could have an asexual dominance, you could have a butch dominance, a femme dominance, a twink dominance. You can do all kinds of things like that. I wonder if it's just a matter of, you can bring out your inner femininity, but I don't know that the dominance is separate, or is permanently attached to that. I think it is separate.
So what I do in Forte Femme, as well as the shorter Art of Feminine Dominance course, is we actually do examine separately what feminine means and what dominance means. And we explore all manners of archetypical as well as emotional response.
Can you give me is there a Cliff Notes version of that, or a teaser you can give about how that discussion goes?
Okay, so the discussion goes, and every class is different, because I open the question and the students solve the problem. Okay? And so, well, now somebody said I dominate men and women in different vibes. It's actually not about men and women. It's about masculine and feminine. So one can be male and enjoy feminine dominance. One can be female and enjoy masculine dominance. Those are very different things, okay? So what we're exploring are emotional, social, archetypical, psychological state of that which is feminine. And I pose the question, okay, so you're at a party and somebody who embodies feminine walks in. Free associate words. And then we list all of that. Right? Huge list. Then we stop. And then I bring out another flip chart page and say, okay, somebody who personifies dominant walks in. Free associate. Okay? I don't provide the answers. People in each class, they provide the answer. Okay? And based on that, we analyze assumptions. We analyze, we also talk about the words we thought of but did not speak. In other words, that which we self-censor. Now, what I find interesting is that when we have a group like in Forte Femme, that are people that have been socialized or walk in this world as women, okay? Because we have also, the weekend is to all people who live and walk in the world as women. All right. There are things that we think of that we don't speak, that we self-censor, because we have been taught that it is somehow bad or negative. Now, instead of considering this as negative, you reframe that as inconvenient to others. Then we start to open doors. Because if something is, all right, if something is, we've been taught is bad, okay, good girls don't. Fill in the blank, right? Good girls don't. Well, why? Because it's inconvenient to somebody or some other entity. All right, let's examine that. In the place that good girls don't, in that, oftentimes are potential powers.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And that's also that which we women self-censor. So I'll go through the exercise of feminine, and people list all sorts of positive and nurturing and socially acceptable things, and then I pause and I say, okay, no, really, what did you think of that you didn't say? And then the other things come out.
Of course.
Yeah. So if we decouple that from judgment and the fear of upsetting social harmony, then is there not a potential to tap into a profound amount of power?
You know, I also think, yeah, I was going to say that seems like it's a first step in the road to being authentically dominant. I was considering at one point being involved with a certain association of dominants, and I won't say where and I won't say their name, but I was informed by them that if I joined, one of their rules is that their members were never allowed to bottom in public.
Oh.
And I looked at them and I said, well, then I guess I can't join you, because whether or not I bottom in public is my business, and I let someone else tell me, then I'm not very dominant, am I?
Yep.
So I don't. I think that sometimes the external rules, like, I like the way of you putting that, inconvenient to other people.
Yeah. See,
It's a different filter.
Over the course of Fort FM, there are two fundamental lessons that all my graduates, amazing, powerful, glorious women, take away. And I just actually got an email from one of the alums about how she used that at work to deal with a work situation. There are two questions, that they take away for all the weekend. One, what would please me now? Two, no, not what do I think should please me now? What would please me now? And two, how am I holding space? Now, once you uncover and come to terms with what would please me now, then you have to make the decision of how to go about. Now, should that happen? Or should they not? It would please me now to kill my coworker because they're driving me crazy. Is actually not the what would please me now. Okay? So like in a coworker situation, what would please me now is to get a move on with this damn project. So maybe killing your coworker's not really what would please you now, right? Or what would please me now? Okay, and I hear this. Well, this actually happened in the lab at Fort FM. I don't know what would please me now. I don't know if I should be like spanking or flogging or binding them. And then I said, okay, no, really, what would please you now? I don't know. What would please you now? I just want to sit down and be quiet. Okay. And she was like, I can do that? Yes, you can. Would that really please you? Yeah. And it turned out she just wanted to sit there and have her hair brushed while having a quiet conversation.
That kind of brings up a tangential question. What role does protocol play in all of this? Because we hear a lot about high protocol and low protocol and where are your protocols and things like that.
Oh, protocol. Okay, so I'm going to answer a question with a question, okay? So,
How Socratic of you.
So for what purpose the protocol, right? So what's the protocol for? Is the protocol a part of a fantasy play scene? In which case the protocols are the rules of a game, and perhaps either abiding or breaking it becomes part of the structure of the fun, right? Whereas if protocol is not within a scene or play, but rather in an ongoing power disparate relationship, then the purpose of the protocol may be to reduce decision making in everyday life. The purpose of the protocol may be to bolster and validate the uniqueness of the relationship. So why the protocol? And I think most people don't ask that question. Are we setting a protocol in place because we're playing tag and we're setting the rules of the game? Or is it that we are a functioning team within everyday life and this is our standard operating procedure? Now, Gray, you and I both share a military background, so you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So for what purpose the protocol? And for that matter, that question applies also for what purpose dominance. Because there's dominance that one engages in for play, and dominance that is relational. If you are in a power disparate relationship, then it is leadership skills. And I fully believe that the art of dominance is one of many legitimate leadership skills. Okay. Now, if you're engaging in temporarily shifting hierarchy as part of recreation, equally legitimate. Neither is better nor worse, as long as life is good and consented upon for all parties. Okay. But then the use of dominance may be more of cops and robbers. Oh, speaking of which, my definition of BDSM. It's something I've been having fun with, and instead of breaking it down, bondage, disciplines, sadomasochism, blah blah blah. When it comes down to it, BDSM, the definition of it is childhood joyous play with adult sexual privilege and cool toys. Right?
I can get with that.
Yeah. So every single kink play can be broken down into that. Even the most
joyous play with adult sexual privilege and cool toys.
Even the most serious and intense and dark ones. Because children are geniuses in terms of coming up with play. And children are geniuses in terms of negotiating the structure of shared fun time.
But that's always why, we even call them play dates.
Yeah.
With people. The protocol, the other use that I found for that is sometimes it's more, I guess, well, in both a lifestyle and in a play relationship, an occasional play relationship. Protocol can give you something to hang on to and do when you're not sure what else to do. In a relationship, the protocol can keep people together even when they're really angry at each other. It gives a glue to hold you together until the anger passes. And in a play situation, when you're sitting there going, I don't know what to do next, you can probably look at protocol and come up with something that would work.
Sure, I like that.
Although, another great teacher I know, or used to know, Flag, one has a great saying that I love, which is preference trumps protocol, which I think goes along with that person you were talking about that wants to sit down and have her hair brushed and have a quiet conversation. It's that if the protocol demands that this is where 30 lashes are delivered while you recite the speeches from Henry V, if what you feel like is sitting down and having your hair brushed, then that's what you do. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, a lot of people, I think we need to give better thought as to why a protocol was put in place, and the protocol can always be changed. I mean, the protocol serves the people don't serve the protocol. That is one of the most important lessons that is never taught. Frankly, I think if you just handed that on a card to the people that attended Fort de Femme, they would get their money's worth. I have a protocol class of my own that's is still being developed, but that's one of the biggest things is that we don't do protocols just because you're supposed to. They have to serve a purpose.
Yeah, I mean, the protocol that we have in place in the military, the ones that are not functional, walking in a certain formation or whatever, there are protocols that are no longer in place. Protocols that worked when you had musket rifles.
Yeah, no kidding. Do you give, I know in your rope dojos, you start out by saying, hey, this is the way you coil your rope in my dojo. You may do it a different way yourself. You may do it a different way after, but while you're here, you will do it my way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you set in place any kind of example protocols for the Fort de Femme workshop?
I do, actually, I do. Part of the thing, and it reveals itself at the first night, is to speak of ourselves as people. The thing that is that I require us to not say I am a dominant, because I find that reductionary and reduces us to a two-dimensional label. Instead, to speak as I enjoy dominance. I am topping, I'm dominating, to keep it as verb, not noun. So you may even say I crave, I hanker for, I have wanton lust for, topping the hell out of you. But to not say I am a.
Well, it's always bothered me with the whole idea of it being an adjective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dominant what?
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things. The other thing that I absolutely solidly put in place is rigorous honesty and support of each other. Mm-hmm.
Does that include keeping things confidential between people?
Absolute confidentiality requirement.
Right.
Yeah. And the neat thing is the alumna organization, the women that have graduated, they keep in touch with each other. I'm actually going to be enriching the alumna program even more to do outings, special benefits, etc.
Yeah, the idea of having every alumni come for the dinner sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then the alum actually meets the current students.
Right. That's got to be actually kind of refreshing for both.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell a little bit more about the name, how you came up with it? I read it in your site, and I really like the idea of the forte.
Let's see. Slave of Sinistra. I'm reading a message here. Okay, Forte Femme, Fortefemme, is an entirely made-up word. I've had French speakers go, that is not grammatically correct. But it's one squished-in word. It is a made-up word. And I wanted something that said power and strength, decisiveness, and the state of expressing and enjoying one's femininity. So I played around with various words, and I made it up, like Kleenex, like Frigidaire.
Which is also French.
Yes. So, yes, I totally made up the word. It's Forte Femme.
But I mean
sort of Latinish, Frenchish base.
The idea of the forte being the strong part of the blade.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that?
It's also a musical note. It's a strong part of the blade, but it is also a musical note, because there's a harmony and joy and a musicality to an amazing scene, but also there's a harmony and a joy and also chaos and cacophony in the state of the woman who is getting in touch with her own dominance. The music can stand alone as a single violin, or it could also be a symphonic crescendo of multiple participants.
Nice. So we're starting to get into the tail end of our time here. You have enabled me to offer something that I can't take advantage of myself.
That's right, and you even have to say the word.
Oh, that's no problem. I say that word all the time. So the one thing I have to find out from you is this good for just the upcoming one that is in San Francisco, right?
This is a special discount code only for the friends, family, listeners, and fans of you, GrayDancer.
Okay. But it'll be good for Copenhagen?
No, it's only good for the upcoming San Francisco one, because I'm just...
Right.
It's a spur of the moment, and yes. I wanted to give you a gift you can't use.
I just wanted to make sure that we could convey the sense of urgency here.
Yes.
So yes, if you would like to go to this workshop, it's a weekend of elegance and sophistication and stuff, you can get $200 off of the admission price, which is amazingly generous. And all you have to do is put in Ninja Sex Poodle when you register. That's all one word, NINJASEXPOODLE. And that will give you $200 off the admission for the date is the 14th, correct?
August 14 to 16 in
August
San
14 to
Francisco.
16.
The
Yes.
registration is at fortefm.com, and once you register, there will be a block to enter special discount code, and you put in Ninja Sex Poodle, all one
Does it
word.
matter how they capitalize it?
Capital, I think it does matter. Capital,
Capital N, capital S, capital P.
yeah, capital of each word, but no space in between. Ninja Sex Poodle. And this is brought to you courtesy of your feline overlords.
Oh, wonderful.
Because you are in service to my cats, because Miss Princess Rue misses you.
I miss the privilege of being able to run my hands through her silky fur as well. So yes, we will. Hopefully, we have one or two listeners that might take advantage of that.
Ninja Sex Poodle, Ninja Sex Poodle, Ninja Sex Poodle, $200 off. So I also recognize that there may be some people who need a little break in attending this weekend. Usually there's a graduate or two that sponsors and puts up money for a scholarship, and it's happened the last few times. It just didn't happen this time, only because it's summer break and whatever. But so for those of you who are graduates out there, I challenge you that you make scholarships happen for future students, because let's make authentic loving power and fulfillment for everyone happen. So this time it's the Ninja Sex Poodle GrayDancer discount code for $200.
And that's a sentence I never thought I'd hear, but that's wonderful.
Hey, so I'm going to turn it back to anyone out there who might have questions. Last chance on the questions here. I don't know if you've seen anything coming in from Twitter or not, but
I haven't. I've had it up. Most of the feedback has been about the sound quality.
okay, yeah, we'll experiment with
Answering all the
that.
questions.
Yeah, we're going to experiment with that, and we might try this again just to like hone the technique on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? Mr. Gray?
Oh, I thought you were asking about. I thought you were waiting for people in the.
I'm actually asking you.
What else? Boy. I remember what I was going to ask. I did have one other question.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most valuable things that I ever got from your classes was when you started talking about the various archetypes that are out there for people, in both dominant and submissive. And I'm wondering if that's part of the curriculum in this kind of workshop. That value changes.
We do cover. You're talking about the binary ones. Yeah, we cover that with a focus towards dominance.
Gotcha. And I imagine that some people are surprised about some of the archetypes that come out as dominant.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. You're talking about mapping your DS archetype.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
That's a tough class.
Yes.
That is a tough class. I mean, I don't make any answers. I just ask annoying questions in strange ways.
But it helped us figure out where a fun cloud is, which is always useful.
Oh, did it? That makes me so happy to hear.
Absolutely.
Yay. Okay.
Great. So ForteFemme is ForteFemme.com.
Mm-hmm.
And people can go and hopefully get to join you on the 14th, and if not, there will be New York and apparently Copenhagen sessions also.
Yep. Yep.
Excellent.
And
thank you for joining us. Oh,
and I'm
wait,
going to
there's
be
more.
seeing you in January.
yes.
And yeah.
With my new shirt.
Yes, because I suppose we might as well leak it. I mean, you're guest instructor for the next rope dojo in Baltimore.
Yes. Be glad to go back to Baltimore. In January, though, wait a minute. I always like the rope dojo in winter when it's going to California.
I know, sorry, we're kind of shifting things up this year, trying things
Just like
differently.
Twisted Monk better than you like me.
Oh, well, it's the seafood.
Yeah.
I'm going there for the crab, really.
No, Baltimore's a great group. We just had a crew there that was fantastic, so I'm sure the dojo there will be fantastic as well.
Yay! All right, then I guess we can sign off. Do you need to make like official sign-off sounds?
Not really. We just say goodbye. Well, you know what? You could do the tagline. The tagline
Sure.
of every podcast is you go big slurp and you say, that's some good rope.
Okay.
So,
all right.
We'll say that together. Ready? On
All right.
3. 1, 2, 3.
That's some good rope.
Yay.
All right. Bye, you. Bye, guys.
Bye.